Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to episode 9 of Western United, and it is the first episode of season 2 of the A-League. Now, today we're going to get the season underway against Melbourne Victory, and then we're going to have the Ffa Cup Semi-Final against Melbourne City. We have been playing the Ffa Cup sort of early rounds during pre-season. I'll give you a quick update on how that's been going in just a second, but we'll start by having a look at our expectations this year. We're expected to be in the top half of the A-League table now. Macarthur FC come in for this season. There they are there. I've looked at their team. It's pretty rubbish, to be honest. But basically, top half means playoffs. It's essentially the same thing now. 12 teams in the league. 6 make the playoffs. We need to be in the playoffs. Now, we managed that last year in our first year. I think, after we go back to last episode to the transfer special, I think we have a better team this year. Certainly one that I'm a lot more confident in anyway. So I think that shouldn't be a problem. We should be looking to at least match what we did last year and come fourth. FFA Cup reached the semi-finals as the minimum. We're already there, so job done on that front. Now let's have a quick look at the season preview here for the A-League, and you will see that we are, where are we here? We are 5th favourites. Now we're in the Champions League as well. Now the Champions League won't actually start. The current version of the season of the Champions League is still ongoing. So that's why it doesn't show up on our competitions just yet. We will see that sort of in the new year after January, because the Champions League runs calendar year rather than sort of European football season. So we're 5th favourites, 16-1 to win the league. It's all the usual suspects: Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC, Melbourne City, and West Sydney. I mean, we beat all of them last year in the table, so, you know, I don't know exactly what other teams have done, but I'd like to think that we're up there with a chance. Wellington Phoenix, 100-1, despite... actually, no, we didn't beat West Sydney last year, did they? Because they won the whole thing. But Wellington Phoenix, champions of the sort of the regular season last year, 100-1 this year. Maybe have a sneaky fiver on that one. We look at the Media 11 Dream Team here. The only player we have is Josh Risdon at right back, and that's fair enough because he is definitely the best right back in the league, I would say. A bit of a strange formation to have the team picked on, though. If we look at the key players, obviously Josh Risdon is there. Is there anybody else of note of our players? We have Bailey Wright, of course, a Socceroo defender. That would make sense that he would be there. Is there anybody else? No, not at this point in time. Brandon O'Neill, no, that's not who we have. Wilson, don't we? I get those two mixed up all the time. We would have had Daniel De Silva, but of course they had that little squad registration issue last time. So just the two of the key players. Now, as I said, we do also have the semi-final of the FFA Cup coming up this episode. So before we get things underway, let's go and have a look and see how it is we managed to get ourselves into the semi-finals. We started off the campaign in WA versus Gosnell City and fell behind early, but the new look Western United responded magnificently, with Dario Vidicic heading us level almost immediately on debut. Cameron Burgess got a debut goal to put us in front midway through the first half, before Wilson made it 3 debut goals before half an hour had been played. Vidicic got his second of the game in the 37th minute, before Corey Brown, also on debut, scored the goal of the game just before half time. Tyrese Francois came off the bench in the second half to make his debut and was gifted his first goal for the club, before returning moments later to show good composure for his second. So there you go, we headed across to Western Australia. We played Gosnell City and we absolutely smashed them. Lots and lots of debut goals in this one as well. Vidicic with 2 on debut, Cameron Burgess with a goal on debut, Brendan Wilson with a goal on debut, Corey Brown with a goal on debut, and Tyrese Francois comes off the bench and 2 goals in 2 minutes on debut. A really, really good performance. We were just too good for them. They're a state league team over there in WA, and we put them to the sword. Next up, we got drawn against Sydney FC in the second round. We had a tougher time of things in the second round. Brandon Wilson smashing in Corey Brown's pass for the only goal of the game. So up to Sydney we went, and we got the win with the Brandon Wilson goal in the 11th minute. You can see there we deserved to win this game. We dominated the game for the most part. Possibly could have been a little bit more comfortable, but that kind of is what it is. And again, you can see lots of the new faces in there. And again, we did well. This is one of the 2 games that Daniel De Silva played with us before we had the little squad registration issue. So that puts us into the quarterfinals, where we were drawn at home this time against Perth Glory. We fell behind early in this one thanks to some poor defending, but we responded well second half, and Vidicic headed us level midway through. And he popped up again 10 minutes from time to head us into the next round. So there we go, we went behind in this one. Obviously we won because we were in the semi-finals. We went behind, we were quite poor in the first half, but they scored from their only shot on target. Dario Vidicic again with a double in the second half. So yeah, a good solid win again and again. I think we deserved it. So despite having lots and lots of new players in the squad, we got a really good win, obviously, against weaker opposition, and then 2 good, solid wins against A-League opposition. Now, if we just go and have a look at the squad dynamics here, you can see team cohesion is not too bad. I know a lot of you in the comments were concerned about how that was going to play out with so many new signings, because there was lots and lots of new signings. We'll have a quick review in a second, but last episode we had a transfer special if you want to see the ins and outs of it. Francois is still unhappy because I forgot when we offered him the contract. Apparently I said I'd loan him out, which I don't want to do. So a little bit of a misunderstanding there. Hopefully that'll pass. But yeah, you can see just the playing so many friendlies, and we'll go and have a look at the schedule here in a second, and then the Ffa Cup games as well. We've managed to keep the team cohesion relatively strong. It did dip down into the red at first, but you can see that it's a long old preseason, and so lots and lots of friendlies were played, and I was okay with it because we were making so many signings. So in the end, that kind of all worked out nicely for us. Now, just a quick review of the transfers we did last episode. You can see there, lots and lots and lots of them. The highlights, I think, Corey Brown, the left back, Bailey Wright and Cameron Burgess, 2 centre backs, Dario Vidicic, of course, and you can see them all there. I would recommend, if you want to try that again, if you want to see more of them, Federici as well, we got in late, didn't we? Go back and watch last episode and you'll see sort of the ins and outs of it there. The major departure, of course, was Dave Kone, who has left the club. That was the only one we didn't really know who was going to leave. Obviously, Jurtek and Berisha had already arranged their transfers elsewhere. So that just leaves us. Let's get the season underway as we go and face Melbourne Victory here. Now, this is what we're expecting. We are the favourites for this one. Both teams are in excellent form. They would be Ffa Cup games. Melbourne Victory is playing, I want to say, Newcastle Jets in the other semi-final. Now, they're an Ernie Merrick coached team. Ernie Merrick, who was at Newcastle, was sacked and is back to Melbourne Victory. He was there. I think he was their first ever manager, wasn't he? If you know the A-League. Back in 2004, he was there. You can see from 2004 to 2011, he was there for a long, long time. He's a good manager, Ernie Merrick. So they're an adventurous, standard playing style. We're expecting them to come out in their sort of narrow 4, whatever that is, basically what we're playing as well. Narrow 4-3-3, maybe you'd call that. So they have some good players. Steve Lustica is back. Herzic, who is a good player, he's on loan. I think they've got him on loan. Ola Tovinen as well. So there's some good players in their team. Dang as a centre-back as well. You can see they're a little bit narrow, so we will try and get down the sides of them. There's their passing network and their key passes as well. Again, lots of sort of narrow balls there, isn't there? But they do score a few goals from crosses as well. Now, let's go and have a look at the team that we're sending out. For our first game of the season, Adam Federici goes in goal for this one. Not a debut because he has played in the Ffa Cup, but he will get the start. Corey Brown goes at left back for this one. It's his shirt to lose. The 2 new boys at centre back as well, with Cameron Burgess and Bailey Wright getting the starts, with, of course, our superstar right back, Socceroo right back, Josh Risdon. Connor Chapman gets to start this season. He gets the first start there as the DM. We're going to go with Pennington as a central midfielder, along with Brendan Wilson as well. Hopefully he will do a good job there for us. Vidicic gets the start as the number 10. He is in behind Follow-Me and also Maega up top. Maybe the controversial one there is Diamanti on the bench, but his recent form, you can see there, he hasn't played too well in the competitive games. Friendlies he's done fine, but the competitive games not so much. So he starts on the bench with Francois, Aliabass and Hamill, and of course Kurto, the backup goalkeeper. Let's see if we can get victory against the Victory. I'm sorry, that's horrible and predictable, isn't it? But it had to be done. So there we go. We are matching up man for man with them. May the best team win, as long as the best team wears black and green. Give them a morale boost. Come on, let's show what you can do. All right, let's go with that. First game of the year. I would have liked maybe to be able to say keep the run going, because we've been doing pretty well in the FFA Cup, but it's not the FFA Cup now, is it? This is the proper league. Alright, and here we go. I'm excited for this season. It was good to see you guys in the comments were excited for this season as well. I'm really just curious to see what we can do. Obviously the mistake that I made, and I've kind of realized it now, was not playing designated, or not having any designated players. All the wages for these players are counting against the salary cap. It does leave us a little bit of room in January if we wanted to go and sign somebody. But I'm almost thinking, I was sort of dwelling on it overnight. I almost wonder, there's a good ball risen to the back post. Brown is there against his former club, of course, and that's hit the crossbar and gone over. It does actually leave us in a pretty good position, I think, maybe for next summer, because what will happen, Diamanti's contract is essentially up the end of this season. There's a few others that are up the end of this season as well. It'll put us in a position where we'll have we've already got the base, I think, of a good squad here, and then we'll be able to go and sign some designated players and not have to worry about squad registration rules because we'll naturally be losing players from the squad anyway. There's the good ball from Corey Brown, edge of the area. Pennington's there. Pennington! Just past the post. They've got Adama Traore. Is that the Adama Traore? No, it might be a Adama Traore, it looks like. He's been there for a while, hasn't he? I'm thinking the guy that was at Villa for a bit. I think he's at Wolves now, isn't he? The really, really pacey winger. But I think that's a different one that has been in the A-League for a few seasons now. Let's show some passion here, boys. Come on, why is Maega looking complacent there? Maega is somebody I did flirt with getting rid of to see if we could really try and upgrade it to get a really top striker in. The one guy I did try and look at, I was trying to convince to join, was Adam Taggert, who's currently in South Korea, Australian striker, but he has a release fee of, I think it's like 225 grand. But unfortunately, I just couldn't quite convince him to come and join us. I tried on loan as well, and the club would accept it on loan, but they weren't. Yeah, he didn't want to come back to the A-League, which is a shame because we could have used him up front, I think. But that's okay. We'll try again in January. That's the end of the South Korean season then as well, so we might have a little bit more luck there. Hasn't been a classic, has it? Let's try and demand a bit more. If we're going to have a complacent-looking Maega, we do have Diamanti on the bench. He does have that X factor about him, so we might look to make a change. We can stick Vidicic up front. What is that, Maega? What is that for a header? Is he going to get it back? No, he's not. So we can stick Vidicic up front, get Diamanti on, and we know he's just got that little bit of class, Diamanti, doesn't he? Now, if he plays 20 games this year, he will get an extra year in his contract. There's a part of me that hopes he might just retire at the end of this season in any case. He is 36 now, so you never know. Here we go, Vidicic, back there for Chapman. This has been a good... Pennington! Oh, again, Pennington. Just not quite. All right, I think we will make the change. We've got a complacent-looking striker. We're gonna make the change, yeah. So let's now stick... We want Diamanti as an attacking midfielder, which will open up a position here for an advanced playmaker. And that makes me wonder, do we bring Tyrese Francois on to play that role? We'll give it a little bit more time here. Brendan Wilson's been a little bit quiet. Pennington is the natural change to make there, though. So what do we do? Well, we know that Pennington can play box to box, so let's make that change. Switch those two around, and that's fine. It's running out of time here, aren't we? Come on, boys, get creative here. Show me a little bit of something. Let's go attacking. We've dominated the game. Look at that. They have not had a shot on goal yet. Is it going to happen for us? Come on, boys. You know what's going to happen. We're going to get sucker punched, aren't we? You can see this coming a mile off. Here we go with Josh Risdon. Can he get a bit of quality into the box? Well, what we do lack a little bit now is the height without Maega in there. It's a good ball for Corey Brown getting forward. Come on, mate. Against your former club. It's a header around. It's there. It's Fiomi, and he's put it past the post. We've had a couple of really good chances, haven't we? We've muffed them, haven't we? Diamanti knocks that down to Vidicic. All right, can we get something going here? Pennington. He goes for Fiomi. Can he get to that? He can. He's going to keep it in. The rain looks like it's starting to affect the pitch as well. Fiomi, can he pick somebody out? It's there. It's Diamanti. We bring him on and he scores again. He ends this season like he finished last season, scoring the big goals for us. And it's 1-0. Tyrese Francois with the assist as well. That's excellent to see. Fiomi did really well there, didn't he? Just evaded the tackle of Traore, kept the ball, kept his composure, picked out Francois, and look at that for a finish from Diamanti. He's not missing that, is he? And you can actually see the rain affecting the pitch here as well, so that's cool to see. Alright, so what we want to do now is we just want to start and close this mofo down, don't we? Slow it down. Let's make it a little bit more difficult for them as well. Actually, no, let's not change that. No, let's do that. I never know because we have defended really well, whether it's worth keeping that going or not. But they're going to have to come out at us now, so let's just be a little bit more defensively minded and do that. Let's go back to defensive. Did I get that? I didn't. Oh, don't do it. This has been so unfair. That's absolute horse crap. What have we done? Oh, that's so annoying. It's their first shot on goal, I think. I don't remember them having another shot. Yeah. I mean, we didn't really have much time in pre-season to work on defending free kicks. Obviously, we should have maybe done a little bit more attention on that. It's a towering header. I mean, well, honestly, we should have done better, shouldn't we? We've come straight back. Come on, boys. Let's see what happens with this highlight first. Chapman out there to Corey Brown. Now, there are no end-of-game highlights here, so something's going to happen. Can we go and pin them straight back here? Brown dinks one in, back post. It's there for Risdon. We've got men in the box. It's a good ball in. No, it's not. It's found its way back to Brown. Brown back to Risdon. Oh, it's blocked. And are we going to... No, don't. Don't do this. Don't do this. This is rude. Melbourne, don't. Don't do it. There we go. Bailey Wright's back there. Hacks it clear. All right, here we go with Risdon. We are on attacking, so maybe that's not the smartest thing I could have done. Here we go with Diamanti. Diamanti, that's a long-range effort. I tell you what. We may have seen goal of the season in the very first game there, if that had gone in. It looks like that's going to be it. It's not. That is absolute crap. We do not deserve to have anything other than a win in that game, but we didn't take our chances and we've paid the price for it. I'm gonna say unlucky but come on. We've basically done everything there but stick the ball in the back of the net, and we have paid prices for it at the end. Decent game, wasn't it, from Corey Brown, to be fair to him. He had a good game. Passing was top-notch, mate. Guys, wait right there. We will be back for the Ffa Cup Semi-Final against Melbourne City. Can we go and make a final? Jordan, how's the barn coming along outside? Have they finished building it yet? Tell the board we need a barn so the players can practice hitting a barn door. I already explained this to them. Hello? Oh, Alessandro Diamanti, how is my goal machine? I'm sorry, what? You're retiring? Mate, why? Because you heard me say I hoped you would. You weren't supposed to hear that, mates. Look, I'm not going to stand in your way, but I tell you what, let's make this a season to remember then, eh? So there we go. Diamanti apparently heard me, and he has announced that he is retiring at the end of the season. It's a shame. I mean, it's going to happen, isn't it? I mean, he's still technically and mentally really strong. I was tempted to maybe talk him out of it, try and talk him out of it, but I just wonder if maybe the time has come. He does have staff attributes. They're not great, if I'm honest, so I don't know that there's going to be a manager there for us. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. Should we try and talk him out of retirement, stick around for another year? He is still really strong, isn't he, technically and particularly, but mentally as well. So maybe it would be worthwhile trying to do that. But anyway, let's not worry about that now. Let's go and have a look at what we're expecting here. It's the Ffa Cup Semi-Final, and we are the favourites. We are at home, and Melbourne City there, as you can see, won their game in the league not midweek, this is midweek, but on the weekend. They played Macarthur. We'll have a look at that in just a second. They're an adventurous, standard playing style. Eric Mumbarat is still the manager. I know I've pronounced that incorrectly, but that's just how it is. This is how we're expecting them to play. As you can see there, 1-0 win over Macarthur. Very, very spread out. So I'm hoping that we will be able to exploit that very open-looking defensive line of theirs. There's their passing network, loads and loads of key passes. Even look at that, even some of the fans were getting some key passes. They were that dominant of the game, apparently. But this is the team that we're sending out. There are a few changes for this one, a couple due to match fatigue, a couple just based on performances. So Federici continues in goal. Ali Abbas is going to come in for left back for this one with Burgess. Jonathan comes in for the fatigued Bailey right, and Risdon continues down the right. Chapman, Pennington moves over to the box-to-box role with Francois getting the start. Diamanti gets the start in this one as well with Maega and Vidicic up front. We've got an expanded bench, so we can get a couple of extra faces on that. Yeah, let's see if we can make a final. We're 90 minutes away. So yeah, they are playing as expected. That is a positive thing. We've got 3 faces to their 1, so that's a positive thing as well. Tell them to do it for the fans. It's a semi-final. Go out there and enjoy yourselves tonight, boys. Just keep it calm. Give it some calm faith. And yeah, let's make the clubs... It'll be a first ever final, of course, let's not forget. Alright, and here we go. Here we go. A chance, as I said, for a first ever final. Not the biggest crowd at the stadium we'll ever see, but that's okay. The season tickets final sales have come in. They are exactly the same, or more or less exactly the same as last year. So that's a little disappointing. I would have thought, having done as well as we did, strengthened the team, got a couple of Socceroos in as well, that we maybe would have increased the season ticket sales, but not to be. Maybe next season. There's just a lump forward for Jamie McLaren to run on to. Federici's there, and as Jamie McLaren finishes it, whiffs past the post. You're a fantastic player, Jamie McLaren. Don't score against my team, please. We've got a nervous-looking Francois. That's not ideal. We do, of course, have Wilson on the bench, so we have options there. Work to do. We have worked on defending corners and set pieces in training in between, and it's an own goal from Josh Risdon. I thought it was a Federici howler at first, but not to be. It is a Risdon own goal. Now, what has happened here? You wouldn't know. We worked on it in training, would you? Federici, could Federici done a little bit better there? It's just a bit of a mess up all round, isn't it? Let's go attacking now, and let's see what we can do here. It would be such a shame to have made it so far through the cup to then fall at this stage. Francois, who wasn't playing well, is now picked up an injury. We might look to take him off. Here's a chance, though. Risdon in a little bit of space. Risdon, he's just hit it into... what's his name? Jemison. I can't think of his first name. But anyway, Jemison, crossfield ball. What are we doing? Federici, we're having a nightmare. Oh, of all the games to fall to pieces, it had to be the semi-final, didn't it? Alright, let's switch those two around. We're having a little bit too relaxed here, perhaps. An own goal, and I don't know what this was. Risdon's crossed it to nobody. Ali Abbas is... Yeah, we've just been caught out, haven't we? There's too many players. Federici, he never got there. He's not the fastest anymore, and I do wonder if maybe he should have just stayed on his line. But, I mean, it's done now, isn't it? So we'll make the change, and really, we need to start and get ourselves back into this game. It's not been a 2-0 game, has it? I mean, we haven't been great, but it's not been a 2-0 game. We'll be aggressive here. We need to improve. We need to be better. Ali Abbas hasn't covered himself in glory at left back. You do wonder if maybe we need to make a change there. We're really struggling with striking right now, aren't we? We're not really creating much, to be honest. Let's try and exploit let's try and play the ball into space. And let's maybe raise the tempo a little bit as we do that. The possible problem we have is we don't maybe have the greatest pace to get in behind if we are passing into space. Here we go with Diamanti over a free kick. It's a decent one. Jonathan's there. Jonathan's over the bar. How many times have we seen that already this episode? Just headers going over the bar. We've created chances for ourselves and we're not taking them. Let's tell them to concentrate. See if that will help the finishing at all. Come on, boys. Ali Abbas is there. He's made him go back. Can we put a bit of pressure on here? It's just another lump forward. We should get to that with Risdon. Go on, mate. He goes forward. He has found Maega just about. Back to Risdon. We need to score very, very, very soon, don't we? There's a decent looking ball for Ali Abbas who brings it down. Finds Wilson getting forwards. Back out to Ali Abbas. It's a little bit of patience here, boys. This is good. Burgess lumps one forward. He's found Risdon in space again. Risdon first time ball. Oh! Risdon with a shot come across and it's floated into the back of the net. It's a little bit of luck. Risdon cancels out his own goal. First goal of the season for him. And let's face it, it wasn't on purpose. But we'll take it. We will definitely take it. It was a good ball from Burgess to find him, to be fair. And look at that, on the volley as well. Let's say he meant that. He didn't, but let's say he did. And that is a stunning, stunning strike from Josh Risdon. Back in the game, that's what we wanted to see. Let's give them a little bit more concentration, perhaps, if that's what a bit of concentration is going to do for us. Doing our best to close them down. McLaren's been just lumped in behind again. Can we close it down this time? We've left a man open and we've got away with one there. Alright, I'm looking at them the way that they're attacking us here. Let's maybe lower the line. No, let's keep putting pressure on them. Let's just lower the line. Let's get stuck in as well. Come on, boys. Let's have them. Was it a save? It was a save by Federici, so well done to him. That's a really good save. We've got a man at the back post here, please, boys. Remember your training. We did work on defending these. That's easy for Federici to get to. Now, was that not a highlight? Surely. Can we launch a counter-attack here? No, that was the highlight. Okay, let's show some passion. Alright, who's not doing well? Maega's not doing well, so let's bring Follow-Me on for him. Ali Abbas isn't having a great game. Let's call it on him. Brown did quite well, didn't he, last time out? So let's do that. We're fighting for our FFA Cup lives here. We need to try and get something going here if we can. Let's give it one last push forward. Very attacking, boys. Come on. Not to be. Oh, that is a really, really frustrating game, isn't it? I mean, we can't really complain about it, really. I mean, there was an own goal and a bit of a defensive stuff up. Risdon scored. Our goal was hardly meant, was it? It was a bit of an accident as well. We're not happy with that. So there we go. Defeat in the FFA Cup Semi-Final. It just wasn't to be. The Francois injury is not too serious. It's just a tight thigh. We've got a little bit of cash for that, so that doesn't really make that much of a difference, but it's better than nothing. And guys, that's it for today. If you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. It's frustration today, isn't it? That's really what that comes down to, I think. It was really, really disappointing. You can see the draw here is a little bit weird. We're playing Melbourne Victory again. Then we've got 2 games against Melbourne City. It's MacArthur FC coming in seems to have sort of messed up the draw a little bit. I might even report that as a bug, because I'm sure that's not how it's supposed to look. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow for the next episode. I think what we do is we might come back for, say, Perth Glory and Wellington Phoenix in the league. 2 teams that... we've already played Perth and beat them in the Cup this year. Wellington, we know we really struggled against them last season, so it'll be a good opportunity to see how we've improved against them. Hopefully, we'll get a few results between now and then as well. So, guys, thank you for watching. I've been Aussie Villain. Take care.